Have a hug.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll start it off because, like I normally do, shall we talk about the Sheffield Wednesday performance?
Oh, Alan, perfect. Thank you. That timing is unreal. Welcome to part 2, people. Right, Sheffield performance.
Are we on?
I want
Are
you
we
to kick
on?
it off.
Smithy, is it working? Are we working?
It's working and it's smooth. So
right, okay.
It was a little latency. YouTube, stop recommending settings that don't work. Right. Al.
Yeah.
Go for it. What's your opinion, considering you want us to move on from...
Well, obviously, I watched with you with total apathy. I've got to be honest with you. We weren't expecting anything fantastic, but they'd stopped.
Yeah.
They'd stopped thinking about football. Their mind was on fucking wherever they're going on holiday. You could see that a mile off. Everyone was off the pace. Barry Bannon looked like a young Iniesta. It was just.
Nobody's ever said that before.
It was just dross, and what? And I think it was a relief. That's my overarching thought on it. It was a relief that was all over, and now we can sort of go right. Okay, Sunderland, you've put us through the back end of the season or the second half of the season. But what are you going to do in a close season? And that's what everyone wants to know: who they're going to bring in, how many players are they going to bring, how many players are they going to sell. No, you know what? They may turn it around. We might be shocked next season, but you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's just wait and see who they bring in as a manager first, and then I'll start judging after that.
Do you know what I find really fascinating about what you've just said there? None of it was about the game itself.
Yeah, because there wasn't a game, mate. There wasn't a game.
Well, there was if you were a Sheffield Wednesday player.
I was going to say, if you're from Sheffield Wednesday persuasion, there was. Not so much if you're from Sunderland.
But when the goals went in, we were like...
yeah. Like that kind of...
It was just like, let's just fucking... Ref, just blow it now. Let's finish it half time and let them win 2-0 and we can fuck off home. That's what it felt like to me.
Well, that's what ended up happening. But yeah, like from our perspective, you could tell none of the players wanted to be there.
I didn't watch the second half, so I'll let you spit that out, mate. But go on, sorry.
Second half, literally, you were right to leave at half time and do what you needed to do because
nothing happened second half, did it?
Nothing at all.
No.
The most entertaining thing happened after half time was the entire stadium emptied out for the lap of honour where nobody gave a shit. Not even played. Nobody stayed. I think Paul did and Bowers might have, but
I didn't see any of it. I was deep in the Bondi. Like I said, I was in Amsley Forest, and you're getting these signal there. Like, doesn't matter how good your signal claims to be, you got nothing. So the first I heard of it, I was like coming out of the forest at 5 o'clock. I was like, I wonder what the score was. Like, I got loads of notifications at the same time. It was like first one I saw was full time. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sunderland 0. I was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
So I didn't see any of it, but.
You're not wasting your time by checking the highlights either.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's like, didn't see any of it, but like, I think the right word and the word that Alan used, like, there's an apathy around these past, definitely the last game, probably the last 2 or 3 games. Sort of like, it's like, who cares now? It's over.
Would you say the apathetic approach has been since the turn of the year? Because 2024, from a Sunderland playing on the pitch standpoint, what we've had 2 highlights, beaten Leeds and beaten West Brom. Beyond that, like what can we call back over the last 5 months to go, okay, now we're a decent team? They're the only 2 games that come to mind.
Because, when it comes to 2024, we're a relegation team. That's what we are. That's the form. Nobody got less points than us except for Rochdale, right? I mean,
Rotherham, you mean?
I'd say, sorry, Rotherham, yeah.
Don't remember Rochdale being in the championship, like.
I mean, we could check. How did Rochdale get on in 2024? Let's have a look.
Find out. Yeah, I don't think they did, but we had relegation form, and you look across Twitter, look across a lot of the Sunderland pods, our own. It's been terrible. You know what I mean? And we talk about Mowbray and that we got rid of him, but at the end of the day, I guess his start of the season saved us because the second half of the season was relegation form.
Rochdale finished 5 games unbeaten. Last 5 games are all unbeaten. Win and 4 draws.
Oh, maybe not.
From Rochdale, man.
Finished 11th in the National League.
Okay, fair enough.
Listen, I'm sorry, right?
I'm just, man.
That'll be perfect.
I know. I want to get the opinions of the guys that actually went to the game as well, though. So I'm going to start with Jacob, because Jacob went to the match. Fair play to you, mate. You've seen how we've panned out over the rest of the season, and went, this is the one I can get to.
Oh yeah, it's got to change today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on, mate, talk us through it.
The way you just responded there,
Yeah,
That's what I thought of it. Oh, just nothing. You know, like the players were just on the beach, weren't they? And I think that's football in general, in modern day football. And I don't like that attitude. You should play for the badge from August till May, even if you've got nothing to play for. It's just disgusting. It's a disgusting attitude, and that mentality needs to change. And we need a manager who's no piss take. That's what we need.
Obviously, sorry, mate, to jump in, but like to me, that sounds like Dodds was uninspirational.
No.
Like if you've got someone who's like slacking off, it's the manager's job to sort that out. If you've got a whole team slacking off, there's only one person who's not doing their job. That's the gaffer. And I know like he was a stand-in or whatever.
Yeah.
But that to me feels like a Dodds failure.
Do you know what's even worse? Sorry, I'm just gonna. Dodds' stats were worse than Beale's, and yet Dodds gets a lot more. He's just in
credit.
He gets more credit.
I know, I've lost you.
I get where people are coming from, but it's just like
sorry, mate. You brought up a bit, or maybe it was me.
Oh,
I heard Dodds' stat is worse than Bale's.
Yeah,
but
he gets more.
I assumed you said
more, like,
Dodds
fairness.
got a bit more of an allowance to him.
Stats don't lie, do they?
This goes back to what we were saying the other week. Like Bale had the personality of this fucking lamp here. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whereas Dodds was at least a bit more like personable.
And when he lost, he took it on board and took the blame, which I think gave him a little bit of extra credit. But we all knew it. We've all called it out week in, week out on this pod, and Bowser's put it on his videos as well. It's just the wrong man in the wrong time for us. We were never gonna kick on once we got rid of Mowbray and picked Beale over anybody else.
We weren't. No. Dodds has done irreparable damage to himself. Like he must have known he was out of his depth. He must have, because after the interviews, the way the team played, bar one or two games, what I mean, there was nothing there, and I just think he took that job, and I think he was a bit deluded to take it, because it's just shown like what he is. He's a coach. That's it, and that he's peaked at being a coach. He'll never kick on to be a manager. There was just nothing there in the interviews. But if you don't think you can be a manager, why volunteer yourself to do that and just put yourself in the firing line? You know what I mean? It's a bit naive.
No, mate. No. So you're an army man, right? Like it's no different.
I'm not in the army, but carry on.
An army man, you understand the ranking system and what have you. It's like it's like a sergeant stepping into a lieutenant role, and then the lieutenant fucking up everything on the day, and the sergeant going, "Well, I stepped up." But that's all he's stepped up into a role on a temporary basis. It's a sergeant. It's a coach. He's not a head coach. He's not a manager. He's just stepped up for a short period of time.
But I'd argue that like you don't, to be a good motivator and manager, you don't need real tactical nous. Do you know what I mean? Clough and the likes would never tackle it. They always had a right hand man who was the tactics guy. You know what I mean? The motivation. It doesn't matter. People can whisper in managers' ear, think about this, think about that.
Yeah.
It's up to the bloke to be respected and to be able to motivate the blokes on the pitch.
I get your point.
Pep's the top echelon of that. You see it all the time with Pep. And I said that when you watched them play Sheffield Wednesday. Mowbray, he wasn't like that, but I imagine he did it in a cute way. He wasn't a shouter or a baller, but he'd take it on one side, maybe say, "Look, mate, if you're not fucking pulling your weight, you won't be on the pitch." I can imagine that, and that's just testament to Mowbray's first half of the season.
I get where you're coming from here, but what I'm saying with Dodds is every single one of those players knew that he was a short-term temporary fix. It's why do you put in full support to your caretaker teacher?
The guy who you know is going to be
he's going to be gone,
or he's going to be demoted in a matter of months.
But Jay was right about they're already packed the bags. You know what I mean? But if Dodds was any good at managing blokes and motivating, you would have saw a difference on the pitch, wouldn't you?
That was my point. Like, if Dodds was any good at it seems to me like it was a big pitfall of his. Couldn't motivate the players, and that's a little bit to do with his inability and the whole situation around the club, right? That's situation around the club isn't his fault. He's found himself in that position, whether he put himself up for it or not, or whether someone approached him and said, "Okay, will you just delay this to the end of the season," sort of thing.
Well, this was going to be my thing. He took over for temporary charge after Mowbray got sacked, and he did well, didn't he? From what I remember, did he have to up all game?
Yeah, but there's always that little bounce, isn't there? There's always that bounce.
So, do you think that because he had that little good stint, they went, well,
why give it a go?
Guy?
Yeah, I think it probably was
end the season.
I think maybe all right. I'll put this to you then, lads. Okay, if Dodds had that 3-game stint and he lost them all,
he wouldn't have been appointed the second.
Then we got Bale in, and he got sacked. Would Dodds have got the job at the end of the season?
I don't think so.
Probably not, right?
Probably not.
There you go.
It's just
he shot himself in the foot, is what you're saying, by winning those 2 games.
Maybe over sort of.
Do you know what though? If that
inflated his
overperformed.
His hindsight in 2020 though, those 2 games were the difference between us getting relegated and staying in the league. Because we're only 6 points off.
Manager of the season.
Yeah, he kept us in the championship. He'd done his job effectively. He kept us where we.
How many points did Bale get us?
Like 9.
All right, well,
he got us more than that. He won like 4 games, which isn't much, to be fair. But I think it was like 14 points. I want to say. I think he got like 4 wins and a couple of draws.
There you can. He saved us as well.
Perfect. Right, I want to get your opinion, Michael, and Paul's opinion on the Sheffield Wednesday game. Then I'll catch up on Acacia and Bong's chat messages.
Bong.
Good old Bong.
First shout out, Bong.
Shout out, Bong.
Good old Bong.
Thank you.
Do you want to go first, Paul?
Yeah, for me, it actually looked like Dodds actually was. Well, to me, it looked like Dodds actually wasn't interested.
Well, you think he just couldn't wait to get out of there?
Interested in what regard, mate? In the game, in the.
I don't think he was interested in the game, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I actually looked at Mike Dodds. I was like, look at between of Danny Roll and Dodds. Dodds was looking down on that floor nearly all game. Danny Roll was shouting at his players, giving them instructions. I just thought Dodds actually give up.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. There's no contrary to that, mate. That you basically just putting them out.
You guys rate this Danny Roll, don't you? The Sheffield Wednesday gaffer. You rate him.
Me particularly, yes.
Why is that, mate? Tell us about it.
Why is that? Right, okay. He went into Sheffield Wednesday under extremely toxic circumstances when Isco Munez had completely wiped them of confidence. They had 3 points, comfortably bottom of the league. Before they won their first game, they were 11 points adrift of safety. Bear in mind, is that team really good on paper? I would argue it's not. Aside from a couple of decent additions.
There you go. The caveat.
Talk tonight, honestly. Aside from a couple of decent signings in January, basically, I don't rate Sheffield Wednesday's squad. I think it's a majority of it is a squad built for League One. So to recover from that, from 11 points adrift with rock bottom confidence under a toxic ownership, to turn that round in less than half a season, with limited transfer involvement, and to get them playing decent football and get that confidence back up to stay up, I think it's a phenomenal effort. And if it weren't for Kieran McKenna, I think he would be manager of the season. I know he wasn't nominated, but I think he, for me, would be manager of the season or head coach of the season, whatever you want to say. It's just that he's done it in the same season McKenna's just done remarkably with Ipswich. I honestly think Danny Roll, I've said Danny Roll being my number one choice. I think he'd be an exceptional fit for us. But with the fees that have been bandied about from the Sheffield Star, I think it is, that doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.
What sort of money are you talking?
Well, I've heard it was. Well, I've seen apparently it's £5 million for him, and then £10 million altogether if you want to take him and their staff.
Yeah, that feels like something that will never happen under the
that feels like
well, that's
Chance
Theory, isn't it? That's Chance Theory doing it to put people off, which is fair play to the guy. It works. I think if I was to talk about the game, because I know Anth said he wanted to hear what me and Paul particularly thought of the game. I'm not someone that buys into this whole thing about Dodds needs to motivate the players. Not completely, anyway. I do think to an extent that is his job. But if I have to watch, why do I have to stand there? What's the point in me as a fan standing there and going, oh well, Dodds isn't motivating the players. The players can't motivate themselves, so why should I motivate myself to watch them? You know, like at the end of the day, that as much as Dodds should take accountability for that, I think the players are the ones. I think the players escape a lot of criticism in that regard. In that, well, sorry guys, but motivate. You know, is there no self motivation anymore? Does the head coach have to manage every single person every single minute all the time? Like for me, no, it should. Maybe that is how it is these days, but it shouldn't be.
I think that's really interesting that you say that, mate, because that to me sounds like there's a rotten apple and it's spoiling the rest of the cards.
The young man, the young kids, like I've worked with young kids, and you know, to get through to them, to make them understand it, it's a lot more than, you know. It's easy when you know what you're doing and you've been doing it a while, like any job. You know what I mean? You can, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm easy with this. When you're young and you're not too sure, they're always looking for someone. They're always looking around the pitch for advice, looking to the bench for advice. So, you know, I still believe that if Dodds had any management material in him, he could have done that, but he couldn't. Mowbray did it for the first half of the season.
I think as well, when you just off the bat of that comment, like when they're looking around, these sort of young players looking around. Okay, probably Jack Clark isn't, but like the majority of the other players are looking around for support. When you don't find that at the bench, which we're not finding that on the
the bench is weak.
Yeah, you don't find that at the bench. You don't find that with the gaffer. You look at your senior pros. Right, who's your senior pro in that team? We haven't got one.
Well, we got Luke. Luke O'Nine is now. You know what? And for him as well.
There you go. You've got one guy.
But look at Luke O'Nine. Look where he's come from. He's, you know, obviously loves the club and he's had a good journey with the club. But he's now finding himself as a senior player for the first time ever. Do you know what I mean? So he's captain on the pitch, and he's finding his feet. You know what I mean? It takes a while to grow into that, especially the captaincy role. So look, I'm not saying a shit because there is some talent there. You see it now and then. You see flashes like Job, for instance. Sometimes I see when people say, "Fuck me, just skinned 2 players and travel and scored a fucking worldie." You know what I mean? So the boy's got talent.
Yeah.
But like I see it every fucking week. You need 2 or 3 seasoned pros on there, and someone who's a good manager to get a tune out of them. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying totally write the team off. I'm just saying we need acquisitions, and the club that obviously must see that. You know what I mean? They made the massive boo-boo. It was Beale. It was Beale, wasn't it? It was the massive boo-boo.
Beale killed
and there was no coming back.
Do you? I know you've said age there, right? And we've had a bit of a joke and a banter about how many people are in like that senior part of their career for Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
What age are you gonna say is a senior professional player? And I can tell you how many players have played.
I'd say late 20s into your 30s.
Early 30s.
So anybody 27 and over.
Yeah,
let's say that.
So every single player that's played for Sunderland this season over the age of 27: Patrick Roberts, Lyndon Gooch, Luke O'Nine, Bradley Dack, Alex Pritchard, Danny Bath, and Corey Evans. So the only one
5
that's consistent.
out of 8 of those players either not here or long-term injured.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like maybe even 6, right? So the only player that you mentioned there
Luke O'Nine.
is Luke O'Nine. Right?
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the problem.
And he's just fell into that bracket. Now, here's a question for you. Would you have kept Danny Bath?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Didn't we let him go for nothing?
I can't remember.
Or like a nominal fee, like a tiny fee.
We wouldn't have got much for him, if anything.
I think you went for nothing. Like that to me was backwards. Like complete. Even if you didn't plan on playing him, even if you wanted to play Ballard and 09, for me, you still keep him. One, he's an option in case someone gets injured, and two, he's been there, done that 1,000 times. Well, like I said, I think I said it at the time when we let him go. I was like, that's a mistake. Even if you just have him in the dressing room. Where did he go? I can't remember where he went, but I'm pretty sure
Norwich.
every game. Norwich, okay.
I'm
pretty sure he didn't start every game there, right? So why not have that in your own dressing room? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Do you think is though, right? Because we always got, because I do, because even I'm at the point now where I think you do need more experience, and I think it'd be negligible to not address that this summer. But at the same time, I've always stood by the opinion that I think we can't. For me, I don't like to just keep using the experience thing every time the kids don't play well. I know the kids. I know that you have to show a degree of patience with them, but there still should be accountability for them. And at the end of the day, I mean, that which brings back the point with Dodds. I do get the point that was made before that, look, if Dodds obviously had a decent man motivating a motivational tactic about him, then maybe we could have got more of a tune. But if that's the case, then, you know, it must have shown that Mowbray was able to get a tune out of these players.
Oh, tremendous
and
manager.
At the end of the day, for me, and we have been in relegation form, don't get us wrong, but should that be the norm for this team? Should the second half of the season be the norm for this team and the accepted standard from those players, regardless of how young they are?
But I don't think a lot of people are I don't think anyone's kicking off. I don't think people are kicking off at Dodds, the players. Everyone is fucking kicking off. It's Speakman and KLD. You know what I mean? We look at Dodds and we think, yeah, all right, he's out of his depth, but no one's having a go at him because we know. No one's having a go at the players really on the pitch because we know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's
no, but they still should be accountable for their own performances, though, shouldn't they?
All right.
Yes, but
I don't think they are.
I'll give them leeway. Look, I can't get upset with them because for me, it's not like they played shit all season. You know what I mean? They've had a good first half, and then we've been in fucking turmoil since the fucking Mags game. Let's be honest. And you know, so they've got to deal with that. We're dealing with it as fans. They've got to deal with it as players. You know what I mean? We're on a journey with them, and I just think it's not their fault. It's not the coaching staff's fault. It's definitely fucking Speakman, and it's definitely KLD's fault.
They do. I get that, but again, if you said it yourself, we've had a good first half of the season. So does that not prove that they're better than they've shown the last 6 months? Then, because if this was the standard for them, we wouldn't have had the good first half of the season.
We're saying it's all down to the mental aptitude of these players, right? That's all it is.
I'm going to put my hand up until
go on,
look, and we've had injuries, by the way. I just chip in with that Ballard and Jack Clark were good. Oh, babe.
What the hell was that?
Someone swore.
That's a feature of Discord, mate. I'll show you how to do it in a bit.
Bit is low, they just noticed.
Right.
What's this one?
Right, let's chuck this off the topic here. Right, we were having a good debate.
That's what I'm going to do. Go on, have you go.
Season's over, we can prat around, so it's fine.
Right.
Okay. Listen, we're talking about accountability and like things like that. Job. I want to highlight Job here. And he had some great performances, had some top-notch performances in the first half of the season. And over Christmas, he started to drop away.
Yep.
Right? But he was playing every single game.
Yeah.
You know, starting every single game. We're talking about, are the young players good enough? Do the young players not need a rest? Do the young players not need, you know, something else to happen?
Right.
How can they be made accountable? How can you say, Job, you must play well every single minute that you're on that pitch, but you're playing every single game?
Yes.
Don't work. Don't work like that, does it?
So on that, mate, you're right. Joe Bellingham. He is absolutely right. By the way.
Now, look at him.
Statistically, Joe Bellingham and Trey Hume have played the most games for Sunderland this season.
I thought Pato played every game. Hang on.
No, he played. He didn't play the last one.
Oh, I didn't say it. That was
Bishop
was in goal.
Bishop went in goal, mate.
Bishop was at goal.
Bishop was in goal, and let's be fair, he should have done a better job with that first goal.
He was bashed.
Yeah.
That near post.
Jesus Christ. Just had to bash the Bishop joke.
Bash the Bishop, yeah.
Right. So on that, right, I will go with Job. So what I've got here for everybody who can and cannot see, we've got a bit of a tier list.
Like a little tiny bit bigger, mate.
I can, not a problem. But whilst I'll do that, I'll explain what I'm doing. We have every single player that's played for Sunderland this calendar year on the screen, plus the chat, so we can catch up with what Akish has finally said as well. But we're talking about Job, so I'll find Job and we'll determine where he should go on this list. Is he a player that we want to stick with into the Prem? Are they a solid player for Sunderland in the Championship, and then that's it? Whenever we move on, they move on, up or down. Okay, it's just
you wouldn't be asked if he was sold. You wouldn't be asked.
Yeah, but he could do a job for us next season. The next one is absolutely been or already gone. So like for this one, I might already just put where is he? Where is he?
Stick Burstow straight in there, lad.
No, Pritchard. Pritchard can already go and been and gone because he's already gone.
Man, that picture of Pritchard, man.
That's a good picture.
Where did you pull that from? That looks like he's from his yearbook at school.
All these pictures,
profile photo.
all these pictures are on Transfer Market, by the way. Transfer Market, apart from the younger lads. And who else has already gone from us?
Bradley Dack.
We got rid of Danny Barth. Danny Barth, he's already been and gone. And I think that's it. But they have played games.
Well, is Gooch on there?
Gooch.
Yeah, he is. I can see him.
Where? Which row?
Top row, third from the right.
Third from the right?
Yeah, go to the right hand side and go three in. Go in. There he is.
No, that's Dan Neil.
That's Dan Neil.
Dan Neil, mate. You
made it a bit bigger. Like I can't see this.
Where is
Gooch? Have you got Gooch on there? No.
I don't think he played.
I think Andy's getting old.
Gooch didn't play for us. Gooch didn't play for us this season. He was sold before he went. Sorry.
No,
so this is everybody.
All right.
Who's
Well,
played
and if you go the other side, three in from the left, Burstow. He's definitely gone.
I think now for Burstow, I'm going to put it into the who.
Right.
He's a loanee. We don't really care. Yeah, his time here wasn't very great, and yeah, him. So, that's what I want to do with all of these. But we're talking about Job. We're talking about Job. Job's the little blue one in the bottom.
There he is.
Because obviously blue with Birmingham. Where do you think Job would be? Prem, solid, okay, been and gone, or who?
100% Prem, like 100%.
100% stick him, keep him in the Prem for Sunderland. Boom.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know whether anyone disagrees, but like I feel like he's the sort of player that you're going to build your team around.
I think for me, it depends if we go up next season or not.
He's got a long contract though, hasn't he?
If he stays and we don't go up next season, I think we sell him.
I think that'd be incredibly short-sighted if we do that.
But we are incredibly short-sighted. I really get that.
Well, Andy is Jesus.
Oh,
I thought Daniel was Gooch.
Well, since we're talking about Dan Neil, I mean, unless anyone's got any more comments on Job, we might as well get to Dan Neil. He's another one I'd stick in that Prem column. He is an absolute baller. Like we should not.
He's a Sunderland lad. He's a Sunderland lad, isn't he?
Should not be
solid. I wouldn't say
even considering getting rid of him. He should be another player that we build the team around.
Even if you accept the inevitability that Clark will probably go, Dan Neil's probably the biggest one you've got to keep.
Okay. I'm on board with that. With that.
Well, I won't be surprised if Patterson leaves as well, because he's rumoured, isn't he? But who knows?
I wouldn't be arsed if he went.
So,
well, this is an interesting one because I hope he stays.
So
yeah, but you said there was a fucking keeper out on loan who was amazing.
Yeah, Young.
Who was that?
Matty Young, is it? Oh.
Matty Young, yeah. Mm. But
I've seen Pato have some howlers. So have you. So come on. Yeah, he's young. So, I'd put him in a solid bracket. I wouldn't put him in Prem.
He's no Kelvin Davis, though, is he? Let's be fucking real.
Who?
He's done all right. He's young lad. Yeah, I'd be happy if he kept him. But if he went,
I would put him in there solid. I wouldn't want him sold. So I would stick him in there.
Okay, perfect. Let me just quickly, whilst you pick out, I'm just going to catch up on what Bong's saying. He's saying about his under-8s team for his kid. Played and got beat 4-0 on Saturday, and they were better than Sunderland. Roy Keane would kick arse after seeing Sunderland play like that at the end of the season. So there's a manager. I know it's nostalgia. I'm not a massive fan of nostalgia with managers, but there's a manager we can throw in there.
I mean, you're
Wouldn't be
right.
not
He
good,
wouldn't have stood
not
for that
good
nonsense
anyway.
that we saw in the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Mhm.
It might be raging, mate.
Out for you, Smithy. Yeah.
Dale's
He'd
saying.
karate kick the team board, wouldn't he? Bruce Lee style.
I'm trying to think. Chuck Norris. The Bobby Davro. I have no idea who Bobby Davro is for the new manager. At least we can have a laugh. Who's Bobby Davro?
You don't know who Bobby Davro is?
No,
Mate,
clue.
straight out of the
So-
1990s.
I mean,
Google Bobby Davro.
I'll have to Google it after this. Like,
he must have much of a
really
sense of humour because he's fucking shite. We'll go.
Elliot was saying blames Dodds was blaming all of the players constantly in his press conferences, so maybe it is the right time for him to go.
Can I just quickly add something on while you've read that comment? Do any of you think that he's saying that knowing that he's probably been told that he's away?
I think that's just genuinely how he thinks. If he knows he's already got halfway out the door, why mix his words? He gets a reputation for speaking his mind rather than pulling the yes man line. Because that's what
I mean. So that's what makes me think he might be away, though, because if he's been told that, okay, we're going to be letting you go at the end of the season, he knows he can get away with saying that.
He can do whatever he wants, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what else can get on with him, Proctor.
Oh,
Get rid of him and the other bloke who stands next to him.
Like, get us all in fucking what was this called? Conspiracy corner.
Conspiracy corner.
Dodds is getting sacked anyway, no matter what he does.
They'll go abroad, maybe, won't they? Dodds and Proctor. They'll probably go abroad after us.
Probably is.
Saudi.
Let me just.
No,
catch up
Shields
on
is
this.
you gaffer, didn't they?
Shields has got somebody in.
Mate, you've got like an encyclopedic knowledge of Northeast football, mate. I love it. No, he can't go to Shields. They've already signed someone.
Shields' manager actually was actually with the academy, our academy.
Oh, it's Elliot Dickman. Elliot Dickman, you're right.
Yeah, it is.
What, do I count that as a swear?
Elliot Dickman.
Come on, that's harsh.
Hey, Dickman.
In fact, Elliot Dickman, I hated them when he was 21's manager. You should do. He's a bit like Dodds, in my opinion.
Oh, I can't believe it's took you 6 weeks to find that button, but coming in clutch with it.
Mate.
Right.
Where's trombone, mate? Where's the trombone? Oh, here it is.
I also want to see what this one does.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
We should all smash that after the old punchline joke.
Andy,
Listen, that fucking punchline joke is the best joke you've ever heard.
no, that's Old Trafford. That's the atmosphere at Old Trafford. Crickets.
Right, are we gonna?
Right, let's keep moving.
Patrick Roberts. I'd say been and gone.
I feel sorry for him a little bit, but
actually no, I'm probably okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate.
He's had a bad season.
I had some really strong feelings about Patrick Roberts, and I would have stuck him in the bin and gone.
Okay.
I can't get over that picture of fucking Pritchard. Like, it's fucking mint.
But yeah, all right. Just to try and keep us on track.
Yeah.
I think
ahead of him.
It looks like he's just done his GCSEs.
That's what I said, mate. It's straight out the school yearbook, that man.
Straight out of Compton. All right.
Straight out of school.
Crazy motherfucker named Pritchard.
He looks like he fits the rest of the squad, to be fair, like that. Luke 09.
Yeah, just keep the lad.
Solid. Ahead or behind Pato?
Oh, ahead.
Head of Pato.
It's what do you mean when you say ahead of Pato? In what way?
So
He's more likely to stay.
No,
he's more likely to stay. Do you mean he's a better player?
No. So if ahead is more like he's like, would you, if you were given the choice, you have to sell one of these two to fund whatever. Who would you like to keep more? And I think
I think we'd get more money for Pato, so I would sell it.
I'll keep one now.
Logic as well. Yeah.
So we go for it. I'm just gonna pick my players. Jack Clark.
He's gone, and
he's been and gone.
He's gone. Like,
I'm gonna put him ahead of Pritchard, like, because that seems.
You can't, mate. Get that. The photo alone deserves to be number one.
Okay.
Right, who's that ginger kid right in the centre of the top row there?
Oh, that one. That is it's not. It's Callum Styles.
Harry Styles. Or Darren
As it
Styles,
was.
whichever one.
Harry
I
Styles.
want
Harry
you to
Styles.
save me. Just please save me.
Right.
Save me.
I
Right,
don't
I'm
think
gonna.
I don't think he deserves to be in the same category as Burstow. Just saying, because I think Burstow is.
I don't want to sign him. I don't want him.
So Binningham.
I do want him.
No. Oh, why, Andrew?
As
I
it
think
was.
I think he's done all right when he's been on the pitch. He can play a number of positions. He's left-footed. I'd keep him.
For me, it depends on if we're signing him as a starter or not. If we're signing him to be a squad player, I'm okay with it. If we're signing him to be a starter, no thanks.
So it's anywhere between okay and bin. So
Bin.
Okay.
Bin.
okay.
Put him in the bin.
I'm not very confident on that. Performances, says Dale. Patrick Rose, where is this cricket sound? It's on Discord. It's on the call.
How many players are going to be in bin/gone by the end of this podcast?
Most of them. Right.
All the players we forgot.
Corey Evans. And you thought Pritchard's
He's
photo.
He's definitely been. I think he said that he's
gone,
leaving,
mate.
right?
He's
Like,
gone.
They're not renewing his-
Evans is gone.
Yeah, he's not
Gone,
renewing his contract. He's gone.
He's gone. Okay. No, we can't.
An easy one.
Easy one.
no arguments about that, mate. It's a fact.
Bradley Dack.
Right, in the fucking bin.
He gone as well.
Bin.
Gone
Get
straight
shot
to
in.
loose women.
Have you seen who's interested in Bradley Dack?
Loose
Birmingham,
Birmingham City.
Oh,
Why?
it's Birmingham.
He follows fucking Mowbray around like
He's
a
full of
lemon.
Pritchard.
Do you know the thing is though, if
Wants to know how to get hair just like Pritchard's.
Do you know what? If Birmingham signed him and kept him fit, though, he should be class in that division. The problem is just keeping him fit.
Yeah, I think you're right there, mate. And obviously,
Do you know what?
He's
Corey
kicking on a
Evans
bit.
could go to Birmingham. You know, just to end his career, he could just maybe
Wouldn't be
go
a
to
bad
a
shout,
lower
that.
league. Yeah.
right. I'm trying to find one with a photo on here that we've actually had play. Jewison Bennett. Jewison
Well, I'm
Bennett.
going to say who.
I mean, considering he hasn't played since February, I would also stick him with the Who.
Ahead.
Yeah.
Would you say he's more forgettable than Burstow? Or
Nah,
less?
Dewey's done
It depends.
things where we've,
What way do you mean that? Do you mean as in because Burstow's is less forgettable because he's that shite, or do you mean
Like, which
as
one?
in-
Which
We're
one?
desperately
in 5
trying to
years' time,
scrub all memory of Burstow out of our brain.
Which one on a pub
Yeah.
quiz 5 years time? Be like, oh, I remember. Who was that? Who was that Costa Rican that used to play for us? Or who was that guy from
okay?
Chelsea?
I'll say he's probably
Who was that shit striker we got from
Yeah.
Chelsea? Scored 1 goal, 40 odd games.
I can tell you
Oh
was-
yeah, Burstow. For me, I would say he's probably more forgettable than Burstow, but in the sense that Burstow was probably worse, if that makes sense.
For stats wise, by the way, I've got them here. He scored 1 goal in 20 games, playing 895 minutes.
Who's this?
1 goal in 895 minutes.
Mason Burstow.
That is
Got more than
tragic. That like
So on average, basically, he plays 45 minutes a game. He plays half a game every time. That's bad.
that
Yes.
says its own story, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
let's move on from him. I don't want to talk about him ever again.
Never had a chance here. Right. I'm gonna go Pierre Ekwa.
Prem.
Here we go.
Prem.
Oh, that's it.
Solid.
I wouldn't put him in Prem.
I'll put him in
well, you're wrong.
Ben.
Prem.
Prem being solid. Okay, right.
He's not good enough for the Premier
Prem.
League, otherwise West Ham wouldn't have sold him.
Solid.
Bid.
Solid. Solid.
Bid.
Bin's not happening,
Ben.
Davey. Bin's not happening, Davey.
So my
I would
so-
say probably
Okay then. We'll
solid to okay for me.
I have to say Prem just to balance out David's bin. So you still the rest of
Well,
us can
I
fight
think we
over whether we should be solid or
think we
okay.
Can I ask
I
David
put
a
him in
question?
okay.
David, what you need to do is you need to tell everyone how mint he is so that he gets sold and you don't have to watch him again.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
Can't bring himself to you. Anyway, you said last week that you weren't going to give Ekor any more shit. You're full of shit yourself.
No. After the season's done.
Well, the season is done. It's done.
Season is done.
It is.
Yeah.
Just put him in okay for me.
I'm putting him on.
No, he's better than okay.
Right, I'm going to let
I think he is.
Paul be the decider on this one.
Paul,
Prem's
made the
too
right choice,
high.
lad.
Bin's too low. Solid or okay?
Graham.
So it's a solid.
Oh.
Okay. Prem's too high, mate. Prem's too high.
West Ham
No.
sold him, man. He's not good enough.
Well, Jacob, have you said what
Sounded a bit
yours
like
is?
that bag that was on TalkSport there, David. He's not good enough.
He's not good enough. Did you say what you
No,
said,
the
Jacob?
issue with that isn't ability. The issue is application.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I think he puts the graft in.
He doesn't applicate himself or
So-
apply.
So
Yeah, I think I agree with Bowers on that. Like the way he plays.
No, Smithy, you were right. Put him in solid.
Solid.
Come on.
Solid.
solid. That Bin's the only one. Right. Let me just make sure we got caught up.
Move on. We've spent a lot of
In the
time on it.
Prems, Bong saying, well, Bong is Pierre Equa, so he is biased saying in the Prem.
Yes.
Oh, is this Equa?
WPA.
Yeah.
Has Equa made his own burner account? Is that actually Equa?
Yeah.
The second leg of the playoffs.
Go full Michael Beale.
Sorry, Doncaster Crew. Oh, that's the League Two playoffs, isn't it? That's cool. Keep me updated on that one, Acacia, please. Right, players. Jensen sealed. I'm just going to put an okay.
Yeah, firmly in the okay. Like if he was sold, I wouldn't be asked. But if he stayed,
He had an injury. I saw him play okay. So yeah, okay.
okay.
Okay is a fair one. Abdullah Bar.
Oh, fucking silly.
So I think he's an alright option off the bench. Like I've seen games where he's unbelievable. I mean, they're few and far between, but I've seen games where he just turns up.
Right, so he is one of our more prolific players this season. 41 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, 1,991 minutes. So he's had his time, he's had his opportunity, and for me,
he's not consistent enough for me. Like Andrew, he'll do something amazing, and then he'll disappear. He'll disappear.
I think he's in the okay. I think like if we sold him, I wouldn't cry myself to sleep. But equally, if we kept him, I'd be happy to have him on the bench.
Oh, that's fair. Jacob, Paul,
you know not to put the bet on next season, and
no. To be fair, I know it's a safe bet now. You definitely cannot do it. I'll just
someone say put the bet on.
I put a bet on for Abdullah Bar not to score any more than 5 goals this season. 3 was what he achieved in 41 fucking games. I was fine in doing that. He's not.
Are you talking to Ivan Tony today, David, or you got Tonali on?
I did get Tonali's number.
Did you?
I can send them a voice note if you want us to. If we need any odds.
I mean, what we're going to predict? I mean, Smithy, maybe you can.
What for? Which game?
Yeah, well, when we get towards the end of the podcast, we're going to predict the next game. We got nothing to predict.
Oh, who will win the Euros? Who will win the Euros?
Can I just point out before we continue that picture of Bar is frightening.
Yeah, he's got blood on his teeth.
That picture of Bar is scary.
He just ripped someone's. What's this like artery? Someone will know. Carotid artery. Yeah, just so rip someone's carotid artery out.
Can we put him in the fucking bin though? Because I'm not really. I don't want him out here.
I mean, would you be okay with him being in our squad as an option next season?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
but no more than that.
I'm kind of with Al, but the majority is with OK. So I'm gonna.
I just think he's taking up a slot from someone else who may be better than him.
Also,
if we find someone better than him, I wouldn't be against.
I.e. Mundle.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that moves us nicely on the bundle.
That's Mundle.
Yeah. Hey, this is what I'd say about Mundle. Solid.
I've gone with that. I put him up there. Solid.
So,
I agree. I don't think he's going to get sold. I think he's going to. I think we'll see him a lot next season.
Okay, I'll ask Bowers this one. More solid than Equa, Patterson, or 09?
What's this Mundle you're on about?
Yeah.
Probably the least of the 3, but that's because he's the least experienced.
So
least of the 4.
He's at the bottom of the pack for the solid crew.
Yeah, if he's going to be insulted, he's bottom of the pack. But I think it's again.
Mate, he showed some real promise. Like I like the look of him.
Yep.
So do I.
So do I. Even in the 10 games or so that he's played, like I've seen progression. So
right, I want to
with progression.
I want you to answer this question with your
middle finger.
Middle finger. No. Who has had the least amount of game time for Sunderland this season?
Bishop.
Quick hint. It's not Bishop. He's had more than 45 minutes. He's had 3 minutes off the bench. That's it. He's a left winger. He replaced Jack Clark in one game.
Tommy Watson.
So where are we putting little Tommy Watson?
Who? He definitely should be in the Who. Like
I put him in Who, like because.
Nah. Tommy Watson, he's got potential. I think he's a young lad. I saw him at the under-21s, and he did look good.
I do think he has a lot of potential, mate. But if you ask 99% of Sunderland fans, they'll be like, "Who?"
Yeah, man. That's why he should be in the Who. There's nothing not against his talent. I just don't know enough about him.
It's just
for me, that's firmly in the Who.
Right. I want to move this bottom row off, so we'll go with Nectarius Triantis, who has actually played a fair amount of football for Sunderland this season, by the way. But obviously he went in. I say a fair amount. He played 3 games.
I think he'll stay, mate. Like I put him in the OK bracket.
I think he'll stay as well.
I think he'll stay.
Do you think going out on loan helped him out here? Is that what it is?
Not judging by his performances, but maybe he's in the long run. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
So
I'd put him in OK. I don't think he's going to leave, and I don't want him. I don't want him to leave. So for me, that's an OK.
He's an option, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an option.
Anybody have any contrary opinions on that one? Bang, he's OK then.
Can we do Meander while we're on, just so we do the Hibs lads together? And
where is he?
Then we can nicely talk about this week's loan shark while we're on.
Oh no, there he is. He last played for us against Birmingham, by the way. That was his last game. We saw that.
So for me, I don't really rate him at all, but I can't see him leaving. So that probably means he's in OK.
So this is, I think, kind of how he's been featured for Sunderland, right? 8 games. How many minutes do you think he's been played in those 8 games?
80.
186.
Well, he could have fooled me.
He's basically played 15 minutes per game. So do you know when we make a sub at the 75-minute mark? That's who they pick. That's who they pick every time.
That's your man.
So is it a surprise that he hasn't really scored or had anything in there when most of those games are generally dead by that point? Nah. So I think OK for me is where I'd put him.
Go on then, stick him in OK. Stick him in OK. Right.
But while we're on, like I just alluded to, is there a shark sound? So we'll see if that is a shark sound.
I'll get like the first 6 seconds, either Jaws or Baby Shark. on the
no sounds much your such in mind. All right, so so Hibs did play okay, right, so everyone out on loan didn't play apart from the lads at Hibs, right?
Okay.
That makes it easy.
So it does make it easy. But they didn't actually play. They were all both on the bench, and Hibs lost 2-1 to Ross County.
Andrew, we could have saved that 30 seconds by not doing that feature.
Well, I'm rounding it off nicely. This is the last loan shark of the season, mate.
We're on to one final.
I'd be remiss to not finish it off. Do you know what I mean? They did call me Davy Westgate.
Who's that like?
This is a chip. Right. Do we have? I'm going to ask it outright now because I can't really think too much of any other of these. Why is this so fucking awkward? Is there any of these other players that you think are Prem quality? And I will hold my hand up and I can say 2.
I can see 2. At least 1.
Danny B.
Danny Ballard for Prem.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to stay, but yeah.
So I don't know. I think he's one of the assets. I think I've got more faith we can keep personally.
I hope so, because I rate him.
With the Prem is we're keeping this player and we want him, if we get promoted, he's Prem. We're keeping him for the Prem.
He's Prem.
In which case,
yeah, Prem isn't. I'm going to sell it to a Premier League club. He's good enough to play in the Premier League.
For Sunderland.
I know.
Yeah.
And the other one is Trey Hume.
Trey Hume, yeah.
Trey Hume.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
what?
He's class.
He's unreal.
I've seen him out. Again, I don't think. I think he's got a lot of development to do, but I don't think he's ready for the Prem just yet. You know what I mean? I don't think he could be. What? I like to think so. I think he's got a good attitude. He applies himself. He's a good reader of the game. Yeah, so I hope so. But for me, not at the minute. I don't think he's Prem quality, but I think maybe in the future.
Right.
He's definitely solid at lowest for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, solid. He's definitely solid.
At very lowest, solid.
Right, so 2 for solid and the rest for Prem. So I'm going to stick with Prem on that one. But I'm going to put him at the bottom. Okay, so I think we're done for Prem. I think a close one would be Huggins. So I'd put Huggins in solid.
That's certain.
Where's Huggins? Huggins should be on here.
Is that not him next to?
That is Dennis Serkin. Where's Huggins? What's his picture like?
Didn't he?
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, he hasn't got a proper picture. There you go. His picture on here is a silhouette, not like a Twitter egg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got one of them. So yeah, sorry. There you go. Huggins, I'd put solid / Prem, but more solid.
I'd put Huggins in solid. I do like him when I've seen him play. He's got a class goal against Watford. Davey was there.
Well, the season. He is solid.
Yeah, he is.
Serkin, we've mentioned him. I'd put him in.
Injury prone, though, isn't he?
Crouchy shouted, Crouchy like Serkin, doesn't he?
I think Serkin's all right, but he's injury prone, man.
Yeah, I think he's in the OK. He's a squad option, isn't he?
Yeah.
We haven't seen enough of him to say he's solid, but he's fucking injury prone. I do like him.
So,
he's brave.
So, OK above, whereabouts in the OK bracket then? So, most likely to keep to, most likely to get rid of is...
I think we'll keep him.
So, ahead of Bar?
Oh, yeah.
Ahead of Seals?
Yeah, somewhere in the middle, I think, yeah.
Ahead of Seals? Or...
So,
I think he's probably number one
there, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Nice. I can't remember this kid's name. Oh, what's his name?
What are we looking at here?
The Russian?
No, Zach Johnson. And...
Who?
There you go.
If you couldn't remember his name, mate, there's only one place for him to go.
He played 45 minutes. He's a centre-back. Could you also say that for Ben Crompton?
Yeah, put him in now, straight now.
Yep.
There we go. How about Lewis Hamia?
Oh, fucking hell. Bin.
Bin's like God.
Put him in the bin.
Bye-bye.
Who do you want rid of him more? No, let's put him back.
If you could put him ahead of Pritchard, he was already gone. Do that.
For me, I'd put him in bin / gone, but only to maybe get him go out on loan.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to go out on loan.
So that to me makes it okay.
Hasn't done anything. If in a year's time he still hasn't done anything, then I think sell.
So you're more okay with him being at the club?
No, mate, I don't want him at the club. I want him to go out on loan.
So you just
on loan.
It's bin / gone, isn't it?
So nobody wants to see him here long term.
Not on his current, not on his current show, mate. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, terrible.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, if he's watching back, sorry, mate, but you need to perform better for Sunderland fans to enjoy it. Ooh, who's got this? Agialise. This photo looks nothing like him.
Doesn't look like him.
It looks like
I'd see what game for me.
I have Twitter where he like deadpan reacts to stuff.
Yeah.
I put Elise in solid. He is a good defender.
I like him. Okay, solid maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
so
I do like him.
If we sold him, I'd be upset. So yeah, you probably do want to put him in solid, but I don't.
He's always injured, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the issue.
So you're putting him next to Roberts then? Because Roberts,
maybe it's because of the injuries and that. Yeah, he's a bit like the Serkin sort of scenario. for me.
Ideally,
All right.
okay. I think that's fair.
I don't think he's done enough to be in solid, but he looks all right when he's on the pitch. But I don't think he's done it enough.
We need to give him a little bit more time. Well, thank you, and I'm Prem lads. Sorry, we've got to put Equa as no.
You're right.
Right, I'm going to go with the last goalkeeper because then I can not talk about him ever again. I'm going to put him in bin/who, Nathan Bishop.
Yeah.
Which one?
I think only because he played the last game, he's
bin.
not a who. So he's probably a bin, isn't he?
Yeah.
More than likely, yeah. He was basically signed to be Bass's number 2, wasn't he?
If Bass played a minute, he'd be on who? Because he didn't out. I'm trying to figure out who on here. Ellis Taylor has had the least amount of times on the pitch, 45 minutes.
Oh.
The next person who's had the least amount of time is, with a decent number actually, Timothy Pembele.
I like him.
That's okay.
Solid.
Solid's weird. Solid's way too high for an 8.
In solid, then he's definitely in solid.
I mean, he's played 8 games, mate, with 286 minutes. He's played
3
full games.
Solid's like you were going to start most games, and I don't think he's going to start most games.
Okay for me.
Yeah,
he's okay, isn't he?
Gold mind, I think that might be different.
I would put him here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'd probably have him further up than that, but
no, I'm not having him ahead of Huggins. Not a chance. Sorry.
That's all right. I wouldn't have him in okay. I don't think he's good enough to be solid.
Okay.
I'd have him in okay.
There we go. Right.
I don't want to be told
solid yet, but I do think there is something about him.
The next
one, he's good.
Thank you. Oh, the next one's a tie, but for a different reason. So one's played 11 games, and the other one's played 22 games, but difference between them is 15 minutes. Nazari Rushin and Hjelde.
Well, for me, Hjelde, he should go in the fucking bin. He's shite.
Well, you know my opinion. I think he's been written off way too quickly, Hjelde.
Nah. I've been watching him long enough.
If we're judging 10 games, then
I've been watching you. You've been hurting too.
Not having it. I think he's shite.
I think I'd agree with Michael. We've not seen too much of him, have we? He's played a few games and he's looked good.
And by the way, just to point out as well, apparently his preferred position is centre half, not left back. So,
he's not going to displace any of our centre halves. So he's going to get really upset about that.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, it doesn't really matter about his position if you your dead balls get out for a fucking goal kick from a corner.
Right, we're not on all sheets yet. You've spoiled it, Davey. So
I'd have been quite worried if Hjelde was taking set pieces, mate.
Yeah, right.
So
we've got 2 for bin.
I don't want to sell him. I think he's shown glimpses that he could be all right. So I think he's in the okays, isn't he?
Okay, so the 3 for okay. I think Paul, you're the decider, mate. Well, actually, I'll be the decider, but
for me, he goes in okay.
So that's 4 for okay.
So Paul's the decider.
2 for
You're
the bin.
all wrong.
2 for the bin. So I'm going to put him behind. I'm going to put him behind Bar. I think I'd rather keep Bar over Hjelde based on current performances because I've seen Bar more often. But there you go. And the other one we said was Rushin.
Feel a bit sorry for him, but I think he's going to go.
Don.
The only reason I'd say God is apparently he's unsettled, isn't he? Me personally, I like him, but I wouldn't be shocked if he left.
He works though. That's the thing. One thing you kind of doubt him on. You can't say that he doesn't graft because he fucking runs non-stop.
Yeah.
All the time. No one can doubt his
good positions
application.
As well. I think he's got positions as well though for a forward. It's just we never played the ball to him.
I agree. I think it's been harshly done by.
And the thing is,
I wouldn't play him up front, right? He's not going to start. For me, he doesn't start, right? But I feel like he's got enough about him to be at least a squad player.
But the thing is, even if you look at the goal he scored against Preston, it's an example where if you put the ball into the box for him, that's an example of what he can do. We just never did it.
Finish. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we have never put the ball into the box anywhere near enough this season at all.
I agree.
I think if he stays, I won't be too bothered. But yeah.
How's he gone
Yeah,
in
so that's
okay?
okay.
Like when
because we've done, he's basically had this.
He's going to go.
I think he's like people have said. He tries hard. He's got a good attitude. But we haven't taken his strengths.
To explain that question, though, the question of Bin is like we do not want to see him in the Sunderland shirt ever again. Basically,
the graft is like night and day.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Amir run fucking 60 yards to chase down a ball at the corner flag? Because I've never seen that once.
Amir stands in one spot, then moves to another spot.
Exactly.
Stands in that for a bit. He doesn't do fuck all.
Yeah. I mean,
all right then.
I think Hjelde, Rushin need more game time for us to give a more fair, longer term opinion, and they're putting the effort, so we'll keep them. Right, I'm gonna do French Dave before I do young man. So French Dave, Adil O'Sheesh.
When we're going to O'Sheesh, right? Just so you know, Sunderland have released his set piece DVD. You can get it now.
How was it?
I think it's $10.99.
Is it got
get him out of bin/gone, Smithy? That is a madness.
I mean,
I think he's on the cusp of between solid and okay.
I think he needs to go on loan,
Andrew.
I think he needs
Andrew, every time I've seen this fucker play, right, and he's took a free kick or a corner.
No, you just base it on that one game where he was shite. You are.
Right, Smithy, back me up here. When he took a corner against Sheffield Wednesday, what happened? Tell him. Tell him what happened.
No, because it's not exclusive to O'Sheesh.
And
our dead ball delivery, every player's dead ball's terrible.
No,
but that's the thing. Across the whole season, is shit set pieces exclusive to just Adil O'Sheesh? Name me one decent set piece taker we've had this season.
Pritchard.
Well,
Pritchard was good before he left.
I like O'Sheash, and he also had a stinker.
I like him as well.
Ipswich away.
Personally, again, it's another example of being written off way too quickly. Another example of it.
I've been about 4 or 5 times. He is fucking not the future of Sunderland. I'm telling you that for now.
Right, wow, it's getting really heated.
He's shite.
I'm telling you, mate, he's a bit right. I would have him.
5 games,
right?
Come on.
I'm not sure. I've watched him play. I watched him play, and his set pieces just top it off.
He's played 28 games for us, by the way.
Right, O'Sheesh is a better option than Sirkin. I'd have him all the way up that end.
Sirkin's been injured.
So for me, I've put him after Triantis and Mienda because I think it'd be okay if he stays with us, but I'd prefer if he goes out on loan. I think he needs a loan spell.
I want to see him in the squad.
I want to see him in the squad as well.
Right, okay. If he's in the squad, he's not taking set pieces.
That's
right,
fine.
We can have somebody else taking set pieces, but I think if you look at his overall round play,
I am not joking yet. Right, that game we watched and the 3 set pieces in the short corner.
Yeah, that was.
And then there was another. Then there was another game he did it right, and then he did it against Sheffield fucking Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? He can't take a fucking set piece, and it if you're at that age, and you can't kick a ball from a dead spot, and get it anywhere near the fucking box. It went out for a fucking goal kick.
Yeah, that's shit. Again, it's not exclusive to him.
Let's just see he's okay and move on.
He's not. Oh, right, okay.
No,
fair enough. I think he's shite.
I mean,
not shite. Give over.
Like you said, it'd be okay in our squad, but not much if he leaves.
I think you've written off way too soon. I think he's
right. Listen, Andrew. Remember when we had this discussion about Seb Larson? Do you remember?
No, man.
Do you remember? And I used to say it every week, this bloke's shit. And like, no, he's class. He scored 7, 8 goals. He's a dead ball specialist. And then, what happened?
She's never claimed to be a dead ball specialist.
The only thing I would say in response to that is a lot of people weren't sure about Jack Clark before we signed him permanently. Look what happened there.
Amad Diallo.
But Jack Clark,
people forget Diallo had a shocking start. He had 10 games where he did fucking nothing, and then all of a sudden he got mint.
Right, you tell me what O'Sheesh has done in this season.
He scored at least 1 goal.
I know what he's done.
Right,
We've actually managed to figure out how to say his name.
Was he attacking midfielder or is he a winger? What is he? You tell me what he is.
Left attacking midfielder.
I think he plays through the middle, or he could play on the wings if he wanted to.
So he's not quick enough to play on the wings, but so he's an attacking midfielder. Is that what you're saying?
Well, first 9.
Okay, let me respond to that with a question. Do you rate Pritchard? There
Yes.
I'd rather have Pritchard in the side than fucking O'Sheesh.
Which one scored more goals this season?
Oh, I can tell
It
you
doesn't
that right
matter.
now.
It doesn't
It
matter.
does. Which one scored more goals this season?
What, he scored 1 goal?
Yeah, Pritchard scored 1 goal.
So goal contributions included. So 1 goal and 5 assists for Pritchard. 2 goals and 2 assists for O'Shea. So 6 goals were created because of Pritchard, 4 because of Adil O'Shea. So
And
two
one
scored
of
by
them
man.
was a veteran pro. Well, no, it's not veteran. That's the wrong word. One of them has been adapted to the Championship ages, and one's just come from abroad.
Yeah, but we got rid of Pritchard halfway through the season.
Yeah,
so-
O'Shea's
so-
played all the second half of the season.
So going off them stats, right? See, Pritchard would have had better stats at the end of the season.
Yeah.
No,
Potentially, no, because
if both of them played, like say Pritchard played the first half, O'Shea's played the second half.
Right, Andrew. Honestly, would you rather have Pritchard or O'Shea?
Well, it depends on the city's
Yeah.
the context.
So, that pause says it all.
For me, on the
Mate,
pitch,
he's not
if
shit.
the
perform-
Stop making out like he's a shit player.
He's not. But if the question is who would I rather have, like
You know.
if they're playing on the pitch, it's Pritchard because he's a much better.
Well, I'm telling you,
supplier of the
Mate,
ball.
you lot got fucking short memories, man.
However,
fucking 3 months ago,
can
the
you-
guy down tools.
Can you listen to my
Longer
fucking
term.
sentence
Yeah,
first, please?
I get about his attitude, Andrew, and he went, and fair enough. But I'm talking about as a player performing on the fucking pitch. Yeah, he had a stinking attitude until you got rid of him.
Yes. So on the pitch, quality-wise, I'd have Pritchard.
Order.
Attitude-wise, I'd much prefer Adil O'Shea. I think he's got much more gumption, and he hasn't tools down at any point in his career. He hasn't thrown handbags, and he hasn't said, "Fuck you, I'm better than this club." So I'd rather have Adil O'Shea.
But I'd rather have someone who's got fucking attitude, and who's a bit of a maverick and performs. You know what I mean?
He stopped performing, though. He stopped performing.
Yeah, but that's at the stage of his career he's at. He's got no other options. He was halfway through the season, and he took it for a fucking. He obviously, what was it, 200,000? I can't remember how much it was.
What the fee we got, you mean?
£100,000. £100,000.
So there was no other options. He took the fucking the transfer, and he got a fee, and he's at the latter stage of his career. It was quick and easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he kept him to the end of the season, he may have gone someone else for more money. Who fucking knows? It was quick. It was a quick sell because the club wanted a shot of him.
Right, and I'll also caveat.
There was right and wrong on both sides there. I'll just point out
on him, on Pritchard, he was compared directly gameplay style wise as Bradley Dack. They were both attacking central midfielders, and they were able to put the ball on a spindle into the box.
We've seen Pritchard score some fucking great goals and and have great games.
We saw Seb Larson do that, mate. You can't use one argument for one player and not for the other one.
Seb Larson had one good season, but then after that, he went on a fucking.
So's Pritchard for us. Pritchard's only had one good season for us.
Pritchard's gone.
Yes,
he went halfway through the season.
So
how do you know what season he was going to have?
We're talking about Adil O'Shea. We haven't had his good season yet. That's why I think he's
right. If he has a good season next season, I'll buy every cunt a pint on this podcast.
Can I just point out as well?
Right.
We haven't seen his good season yet, and yet the season he's come here from a different country where he's just starting to break through. He's got near similar stats to Pritchard.
Yeah, fair. Which is why I think
who's had an extra season, by the way.
I can see both sides of it. Let's just put him in okay.
Put him in okay. If he goes, we're not overly concerned, but we're giving him more time.
I'd admit out. Not to continue this drama, but if we sold him, I'd be like, "What the fuck's happening?"
I'd agree.
Bring him back.
There you go. I'll put him ahead of Jensen Sale, but behind Ben.
Put him in Prem, mate. Put him in Prem.
Not with them, honestly. With them,
I put him in Prem because fucking Man U want a fucking set piece taker. Looking for one now. They've seen his fucking DVD.
Right. Finally, Chris Rigg. I think we have.
Solid.
Yeah, put him in solid.
I would agree. Solid.
Yeah, agreed.
That was the easiest one. We went from the biggest drama to just like, yeah, he's solid.
We had a 10-minute fucking deconstruction of Adil O'Shea's 10 games. Chris Rigg was like, yeah, solid, didn't
he? He is solid. And he's 60.
Gameplay wise, by the way, for Chris Rigg, 22 games, 3 goals, 1 yellow card, and 887 minutes.
How many complete passes?
But yeah,
Doesn't say on
Merlin,
this.
what?
I wouldn't be surprised if someone has a cheeky bid for him, you know.
Oh,
Me either.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Also,
Can we at least put him on a long-term contract first?
Can I also just stir the shit pot a little bit? The player who had the highest points per game, who played more than 10 games for us, is Alex Pritchard with 1.36.
What a surprise.
That's an honestly shit stat that we have.
Yeah, but doesn't that just say, yeah, like you say, mate, doesn't that just really underline how poor the season's been?
The fact that that's great for us. 1.36 is.
But look, we can talk. I know we know the turning point. Well, it was the fucking Mags. Well, for me, the Mags game, and
yeah,
then definitely the fucking appointment of Bale in the commentary game. That was the end of that one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the thing is, a lot of people always point to the sacking of Mowbray, but for me, it wasn't sacking him; it was getting Beale. They're two separate things.
I agree. I think if we sat Mowbray and excuse me, brought someone in who was exciting, forward thinking, that sort of manager, like a Will Still, I think the back end of the season had been completely different.
Do you know the thing is though, even if it hadn't been completely different, even if it took a bit of time for him to adapt to the league, you could at least have a bit of patience there, couldn't you, to an extent? Whereas because with Beale, that was it. That was the reason, because Beale's had a bit. Well, it's only a few months, but he's had time before in this league. Whereas as opposed to someone who needs to adapt.
Will Still, it's a funny story, Nick, because he went from playing Football Manager till early hours at morning, and it's just how he's developed his career. He's done so well.
I mean, Football Manager, bit of a weird one though.
No, but how he's developed his career. Look what he's gone on to do. Like, he's gone from playing Football Manager to
actually being a football manager.
Yeah, and he's decent. He's like his main formation's like 4-3-3. That's his main one.
Yeah. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, sort of. Yeah.
It's just, that video of him going from French to English is just fucking hilarious. It actually is.
I just want to check.
What are you showing?
See if I can actually
get shown the photograph.
No, I'm checking to see if I can let you do your own on this, so you can, like, if you disagree with any of them or you want to move players around, you can.
What a two.
I move it. What a bin.
I think there's a passionate case for Adil Sheesh for a couple of people as well. Oh, all right, calm down. Sorry.
Well, yeah, who's to say that someone doesn't come in and get a different tune out of them? And again, that's down to the club and who you appoint. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
who am I? Just a fan with an opinion.
Well, to be fair though, like the next head coach appointment is vital, isn't it? Like a good head. I mean, Danny Wall at Sheffield Wednesday is a good example of what a good head coach can. Forget that I wanted Danny Wall for something, right? A good head coach makes a fucking difference.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You think Danny Roll prefers a sausage roll or a bacon roll?
Who's playing the sound bits? Please put that as a cricket noise.
I think the last
that's a that man. Hang on.
One of the last good appointments we ever had was Sam Allardyce, because I think when Sam Allardyce came in, we knew what we were in for.
I mean, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole of it.
I committed to a season ticket after that season, if you remember, Andrew. And then
yeah, I do.
and then how Moyes
excited. Then we got Davy Moyes instead.
He loves his fish and chips.
Don't remind me of it, please.
Oh yeah, the man that said we're already in a relegation fight after losing our second game of that season.
And blamed everybody but himself.
Some of our fans want him back since he's leaving West Ham.
I said this last week. I'd have him back.
No, fuck no.
No.
Nah.
I wonder where he'd go, Moyes, now. Where is he?
Sunderland, mate, told you.
Saudi.
Max?
Well, can he go back to Valencia or some shit like that? Real Sociedad, just fuck off to another country.
Didn't he go to Spain and like he tried to speak Spanish?
Yeah, and he fucked up.
Didn't
You spoke Spanish and you fucked it up. You tried to speak Spanish and you fucked it up.
Oh, what was it? Joey Barton went to France and did interviews.
Joey
Burton, by the way. I hope you did all right.
To be fair, there's worse managers than David Moyes. There's worse managers than David Moyes. Look at Newcastle. Steve McLaren. Newcastle had Steve McLaren.
Yeah, so did England, mate. So did England. Steve McLaren.
Simon Grayson, Chris Coleman.
Oh, mate, let's like I said, yeah, rabbit holes of some of the managers.
I feel like I've been through these bad managers in the past couple of weeks, haven't we?
Well, we could do a tier list, Amp. Why don't we do a tier list of managers?
Yeah, that's like off-season worse than the managers.
From Peter Reid onwards.
That's a good idea, man. Full of ideas.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, but like,
all right. How are we rounding this off then? What we predicted?
Because it's the end of the football season, Sunderland finished 16th. We've got no actual
16th.
16th? What?
We've got no Sunderland football to talk about until we get a manager, we get a couple of signings, and we start playing the friendlies. So we have to wait to the Euros.
Something, by the way. You could predict something, but it just wouldn't be. You could predict something, but it just wouldn't be Sunderland. Who wins the Championship playoffs?
Oh, I think Southampton.
I'm going with Southampton. 1 in 4 chance.
So, no, not Leeds.
Southampton, Leeds.
I'm gonna ask Tenali.
Why don't you? Ask Tenali about it, David.
Oh yeah. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to send a text or?
No, I voice note.
Personally.
Voice note. Right. 1 second.
Okay.
What's his first name again?
Alejandro. Alejandro.
Can I request an actor?
Hold on, I just press it. Hello, Mr. Tenali. I'm just.
Oh no, it's Sandro.
All right,
Sandro.
Hello, Sandro. Have you got any tips on who's going to get promoted out of the Championship? Just send us a nice voice note back. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Right, Paul.
I've sent it, lads. I'll let you know when he comes back.
Why don't we make our predictions while he's getting back to us?
Paul.
I'll say never.
We've got Southampton.
Never say
Leeds. Who are you saying?
I'm going to say Southampton.
So Southampton, Leeds, Southampton. Bowers?
Leeds.
Southampton, Leeds. I want to upset the apple cart here. I'm going to say Norwich.
Norwich.
Norwich Ipswich in the Prem.
Oh, Norwich are our friends, though. I'm our best friend.
Yeah,
but
Friendly Cup.
But I think it would change. I don't know. I just think it would be like they're a team on form, right? And going into it, so it makes
form means out in the playoffs, lad.
The East Anglia derby in the Premier League, Norwich and Ipswich.
It would be nice to say that. I'm going to stick with what I said last week. I think Southampton are going to win it. And I'll tell you why. I don't think Norwich are good enough to get promoted. I don't think West Brom are good enough to get promoted. And I think Leeds are going to bottle it. Therefore, it has to be Southampton.
Yeah, but playoffs and Leeds don't go together. Whenever Leeds are in the playoffs.
Yeah, the bottle it.
The bottle it.
Yeah.
So I'm Southampton.
I can get on board with that. I don't think Leeds will get promoted. And unless one of the Norwich or West Brom have like a storm and playoffs, have a grand time. Southampton.
So it's 4 Southampton, 2 Leeds, and 1 Norwich. Nobody's back in West Brom.
Southampton and Norwich at Wembley. I think it might be Southampton and Norwich at Wembley.
Well, luckily,
Who's playing who to get there?
Norwich play Leeds, and then West Brom play Southampton.
Yeah.
Alan, did you give your prediction? Did you?
I said Leeds.
Yeah, Alan said Leeds.
I've got another prediction. I've got another prediction because between now and the next podcast, who is going to be winning the Euros?
France.
Well, to know us.
Who's us?
England and France in the final. England just lose as usual.
Yeah.
If Harry Maguire's being picked as centre half, it's definitely not going to be us, is it?
I don't know what's motivative about Southgate as manager. I mean, all he did was get relegated with Middlesbrough, and they choose him as England
mate,
manager.
that was a long time
Fuck off.
ago. Oh, yeah. He's a better
but you
manager
don't-
now than he was then.
I don't think half the
Yeah,
team
but-
were even born by the time he like the last time we had a different England manager. Saka was 11.
Are the Germans in it? The Germans are in it, aren't they?
The Germans are the
Yeah,
hosts.
they're the hosts.
I'll go with the Germans.
I think
Nah,
the Germans
Germany
will
is
win
shit.
as well.
Paul, what do you think?
I'll go Germany.
Yes, good lad.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah. What's it? I've received a voice note back.
Hang on, let's get through the Euros first.
Eric,
Get through the Euros. Bowers,
All right. Well,
Well, for
who's going to win the Euros?
France.
Smithy?
I'm going to say the Netherlands.
Oh,
All right, Ben.
The Tottenham Hotspur of fucking international football.
100%.
No, to be fair, I'm tossing up between Netherlands and Italy, but I think Netherlands. If there was those two in the final, I'd say Netherlands.
I can't see any of them even make the semis. Sorry, lad.
Fair enough.
David?
Germany.
The Germans.
Well, no one said it, so I'm going to say it. I think England are going to win.
Under Southgate?
Would you get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Would you get a tattoo?
I think we have the better. We have a better squad than 90% of the. Probably only the French are better than us on paper.
Dale's threw out a spanner in the works here. He's saying Spain.
No one's talking. Right, so I had this conversation at work the other day. No one's talking about Spain, but they're just quietly there in the background.
Because
I can see them being the dark horse.
Who's their striker? Morata?
Don't need a striker, mate.
Well, yes, you clearly fucking do. Have you seen Sunderland? You need a striker.
Not if Spain, mate. Not if Spain. They've got a certain way of playing, lad, where you don't need that striker.
So are you saying Sunderland have adopted the Spain model and failed?
No, mate.
No, quietly doing nothing.
Well, go on, finish your sentiment about Spain before I rudely interrupt.
No, that was pretty much it, mate. Like I think Spain, the quietly just doing things. Like I can see there being dark horses. Like I don't know what the odds are. I wonder if Ivan or Tonali can help us out. But I would fancy Spain as an outside bet for the Euros.
Fair enough. Okay. Find out what the Paddy Power odds are. Davey, what's Tonali's very potentially stereotypical Mario style voice of his voice?
It's a me, Tonali.
It's a me.
Oh man, that's what I was gonna. I mean, that's what he was gonna say. I've already heard it.
That's what he was going to say. That's what he said. Okay.
I'll play it now.
Okay.
Or Italian accent, just do Paolo Di Canio. No,
Come on, I want to hear Tonali's. Come on.
I'm pressing play. Oh, hello, it's a me, it's Tonali. I'll go for Southampton 13-8. Great odds.
What about the Euros, Sandro? What about the Euros?
Yeah, Euros.
This is not live. This is a voice note.
Maybe he predicted we were going to ask that question and sent it as well.
He's got a very Mackem Italian accent.
Euros, I think. Hold on.
What about your homeland, Italy? What are their odds?
Hold on.
We've got Tonali on the line.
Yeah, ask him why.
Voice notes for me.
Sure.
Ask him why Chiellini pulled back Saka. Ask him that.
So you put it on
I heard Chiellini's got a massive dick. Someone I don't know who told me that, but like Chiellini has got he's hung like a donkey. Can't remember who told me that.
Oh, but I bet all
right.
I bet
And
all
on
the
that
ladies
note, thank
like
you very much. Get into next season. Just kidding.
Come on, Tonali, mate. What's the odds on Italy in that or Spain?
Well, my friend Ivan tells me that there's good odds for.
Yeah, is Tonali from Jamaica now? Is he or?
It's a me, it's Tonali, man. Germany 5-1, Spain 8-1.
8-1, mate. Good odds. I'm telling you, outside bet.
Italian 16-1.
What about England?
I already said England. 3-1. Okay.
Does Tonali work in the Barnes Chinese?
The gin foo, mate.
I don't know how he managed to get all that information in the voice note, just in case just in case you wanted the Euro odds as well. He must be watching the podcast.
Mate, he loves the bet though, doesn't he? You know, he probably just wants to talk about it all the time.
Oh, yeah, where to beat Sheffield United last season. Oh, right. Before we go, final prediction: not Euros, not playoffs. Where's Sunderland finishing next season?
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
It's fucking
It
impossible.
Depends on the head coach and the recruitment.
I was going to say, can you ask us again after we get someone in? Because
in 3 weeks,
it's the same as it is right now with relegation zone, mate.
Anybody got Speakman's number? To ask the head coaches, then we'll find out where we're finishing.
I'll see if Tonali's got Speakman's number.
No, tell you what we'll do then with that. We'll leave it until the first podcast of next season, so the pre-season one, and then we'll do a prediction on that.
That's a good idea.
All right, yeah, happy with that.
Perfect. Crew Alexandra playing to their away fans, penalty shootout. I'll keep an eye for the playoffs for League One, but I think that's it.
It's Bolton and Oxford in the final, for the League One playoff final.
You said Bolton were going up, mate, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Bolton will be that third team.
I'm looking forward to it. It's
Bolton.
I mean, I don't want another Bolton 6-0, but yeah.
Nah,
it won't be repeated, mate.
Away day Bolton.
Mate, I said last week it's a great away day over the Reebok, or whatever it's called these days.
University of Bolton.
University of Bolton Stadium.
Just say
Just rolls off the tongue.
University of Penshaw. Right. I think that's it. I'm gonna bounce. Catch you next year. Well, in about 2 months' time. What was with the yay?